Hello, this is a video explaining how to use the External Groups feature of ResourceConnect. With external groups, you can conduct online support groups, or if there's an external chatter you're speaking with who you would like to communicate with multiple people at your organization, you can invite them to an external group and they can communicate with multiple staff members. External groups start off as just a normal chat within your organization's web chat functionality. So let's go start a brand new chat page now and see how it looks. So I'm going to be switching back and forth between different windows that look like we're a person who is seeking the external support group chat, and here the provider running the chat. So I see that Web 205 whatever is joined our general chat page. We click assign to me to talk to them. And now this person, perhaps they know that they're here for a support group, and so they can say, hello, I'm Becky, I'm here for the group, whatever. And then we get the message, and it's our choice about whether we want to let Becky into this group. Now, how do we know that Becky is Becky? There's two answers to that. The first is you could do a audio or video call with this person, and I think if you know Becky, you know her voice, or you know what she looks like, then you know that Becky is Becky. If an audio or video call is not appropriate to do with somebody to verify that they are who they say they are, then you need to conduct your support group in such a way as that you're just not going to know that people are definitely who they say they are. It was intentional that we are not having people have a username or password to get into this group. If you want to ask them to say a secret word to get in, then fine, they can come in here, and maybe you told them already that the secret word is banana, and that's all you need to let them in. But that's as good as you're going to get for knowing that somebody on the internet is who they say they are without turning on audio or video calls, which again, we're not saying that we recommend you do. We're just saying that this is a very good option for being more sure that they are who they say they are at the start of the call. So we know that Becky, this is indeed Becky, and we can say invite to group. We get asked which group do we want to invite her to, and we have a choice for support group. If you're not seeing any groups, if you're not seeing this invite to group option here, then it's because you don't have access to any support external groups at all. So ask your administrator to go over here to their admin settings and set up an external group to put people in. You can have groups set up in the system and make them inactive, and then an administrator can go through and make a group active only in the times when you are having that particular group. So we are going to choose to invite Becky to the support group, and now we need to write in a public display name. So she will see an invitation that says, you have been invited to a group chat. Your public display name will be Becky. Would you like to join this group chat? And she can say yes if she likes. We can click over to the support group and we can see a list of all the people who've been invited to join the group and the people who've joined the group. So once Becky says yes, now we go back and we see that these are the people who've joined, just Becky. Now that Becky has joined, her direct message conversation, it will appear as if she has gone. It is intentional that you cannot have private conversations with somebody at the same time as they are participating in an external group. So if you would like to keep this conversation around for reference, you can do that, but you can also just delete it now. All right, let's go back to the support group, and let's probably get a couple other people in here to join this group. So I'm going to go here and repeat the process and pretend I'm a whole bunch of new people. I can come back in here, assign to me, I've verified that they are who they are, and this is going to be Kathy, and she's been invited. She says yes. Okay, let's say you were to invite somebody and you realize, oops, I just invited them to the wrong group. When you view them in this section over here where it says the invitations, there will be an option to click remove that invitation, and she will get a message saying, oops, this person removed the invite. So now we're in a group and everybody can chat back and forth. All right, so if I go back to everybody's pages, here's Becky and here's Kathy. So when Kathy joins, she could see that Becky was already in the group. And when Becky joined, she saw that there was no other participants, and then a moment later, Kathy joined the group. So each participant will see when any new external chatter joins the group. They will not see when other users within your organization join the group. Uh, so yeah, everybody can type, and everybody can see when everybody else is typing, which potentially brings us to a situation where people are typing and saying things, and you don't want them to be typing and saying things. So we can do that. We can fix that situation by pressing these keyboard buttons to say, Becky and Kathy, you cannot type now. And here on this end, the first time that you turn off somebody's keyboard, they will see this message saying, we have turned off your ability to type. You may raise your hand by selecting the raise hand icon below. So let's say you've asked a question for everybody, and you say, does anybody want to speak to the answer to this question? Somebody can click that button to raise their hand. And when you go as a provider, you will see all the people who have their hands raised. Their hand is in that orangey red color. Let's say a whole bunch of people have raised their hand and you want to lower some people's hands. You can click on that hand to lower their hand. You cannot click on somebody's hand to raise their hand for them. Another idea for this hand raising feature is instead of using it as a who wants to type, you could potentially use it as a way to do a really simple, quick survey. Like perhaps you could say, is anybody here having a particularly challenging day? And see whose hands gets raised. Again, other users within your organization can also participate in this group. So here's Sophie, she's typing, and everybody can see that Sophie has responded as well. If you have access to an external group that is happening and you are not part of it and you keep getting notifications about things being said in this group, you can go to the settings for this group and choose mute. And now you can click over to that group if you want to see what's happening, but you can also just completely ignore everything. And let's unmute now. So the last thing to talk about here is, let's say Kathy has gotten to be pretty inappropriate and let's just say not a good match for this group. You can remove Kathy by clicking remove from group here. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I am. Kathy's been removed from this group. Her screen goes off to your quick escape location, which defaults as Google here. And everybody can see that we are no longer plagued by Kathy's presence. Okay, so a couple of other random things that, of course, I'm just remembering now. The raise hand feature, you don't have to have people's keyboards to be turned off for them to use it. So if they are here and and everybody's kind of generally well behaved, you can say who wants to speak to this, and people can raise their hands if they want to speak at the time, and then you can say, Becky, sure, go ahead, and lower Becky's hand if she doesn't do it herself. And the other thing that I should let people know is that let's say a brand new person joins the chat right now. So, we'll go and do it now. So here's a brand new person. We go back over here. We first have to assign them and have a little conversation with them and get them on our account before we invite them. Let's say this is Deb, and now Deb has got the invite and she has joined. Deb will not be able to see the past messages sent in this group. She will only be able to see what happens from this point forward, and again, that is completely intentional. All right, if there's other things that I've forgotten or other things that people have asked that I didn't realize needed to be said during this video, I will post them as FAQ articles within this external group section on the ResourceConnect homepage. So please check there if you have further questions. And if you don't see your answer there, get in touch with us and let us know what you think. Thanks so much. Hope this helps.